Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well. We'll just get going in a second. Just want to wait for a few more people to jump on. We got athletes joining us from all across the world this time, I believe in Canada and the US. So welcome. I believe it's nighttime over there. So hope you guys have had your dinner and ready to learn about personal branding. Before we get going, just so everybody's aware, you'll see the little chat icon there. Feel free to ask any questions as we go on. If I don't get a chance to answer any of the questions now, I'll be able to answer them afterwards. They'll all just kind of stay saved in the chat box. I know previously when I've done these presentations, I haven't really opened up to the chat box, but I want to make this as interactive as possible. So if anyone has any questions in regards to LinkedIn or personal branding or anything that comes up, please just pop it in the chat box and I'll get back to you today sometime, if not right away. But I'll start things off just to see everybody where the chat box is. A quick little hello as a test. So yeah, if any questions pop up, just feel free to put it in the chat. So this webinar is going to be all about helping athletes create a strong personal brand to help you or to get you on the path to start securing a successful post-sport career. And that's mainly going to be done through LinkedIn. If you're an athlete with some business experience already, or you're quite experienced in the corporate space, but you want a better opportunity for yourself, or you want to do other things, or you're not quite 100% satisfied in your current role, strengthening your personal brand will help you create more opportunities and create more fulfilling roles for yourself. So it applies for both. So if you're a current athlete looking to transition into a post-sport career eventually, this webinar will help you. If you're an ex-athlete or you're an elite athlete with business or corporate experience already, this will also be aimed for yourselves in terms of strengthening your personal brand. So to give you an idea of what I'll cover, as I mentioned already, LinkedIn is an essential tool, probably the best platform right now where you can strengthen your personal brand. And I'll go into why, just so everybody gets a better understanding of LinkedIn. Even if you're an avid user, I might give you some tips or some history about LinkedIn that you might have not known. From there, we'll get into the nitty gritty on how athletes can best create their LinkedIn profile to stand out, and again, all towards strengthening your personal brand. And then I'll talk about content generation as well. Content is huge on how you use LinkedIn and who you connect with. And then we'll go into how to build a network via LinkedIn. And then I'll touch a bit more on the another Plan A course that I've mentioned before that I'm working on. Again, if anyone has any questions, please put it in the chat box below. I'll get to them if not now, as soon as I can. So to start things off, as I mentioned, your personal brand is probably the most single important factor in determining if you have a successful post-sport career or not. Obviously during sport as well, but more importantly post-sport, because your post-sport career is going to last, unfortunately, a lot more than your sports career. So improving on your personal brand adds credibility to yourself. It gives you more confidence. Not just for yourself, but it gives employers more confidence to look at you as well, based on how your LinkedIn profile is set up and the content that you generate. Strengthening your personal brand creates a network for yourself organically as well, which I'll show you in a second how to do that. Kind of plays in part with the confidence as well, but another reason to strengthen your personal brand is it builds trust. Not just trust in yourself that you can do whatever you want to do, but trust in employers knowing, hey, look, this guy or this girl has done a lot of things on LinkedIn. It's created a bit of a digital footprint. Yep, I trust in employing this person. And most importantly, and I'll go into a little more detail about this one as well, is authenticity. It gives you an opportunity to be authentic about who you are, your values, and what you want to bring out in yourself. One of the most important or the best things I've done with my business since starting it and then going full time with it is just me being authentic on social media, on LinkedIn, and it's done wonders for me in creating a network, in winning clients. So Authenticity is another big reason to strengthen your personal brand. It allows you to be you. If people don't like who you are, screw them. You be you, and I guarantee you'll get ahead by just being you. And strengthening your personal brand will do just that. Again, if anyone has any questions throughout this, please put it on the chat box below. So why LinkedIn? Why is LinkedIn such an important platform where you can strengthen your personal brand? And I'm an avid believer in this. It's the most important platform over any social media, over anything you can do, being active on LinkedIn. So it has 675 million monthly users at the moment, and 30 million companies are on LinkedIn. It has 15 times more content impressions than job postings. So LinkedIn's not just a place for recruiters anymore or for people just to hire. It's a place of information and valuable information and education as well. So anyone that wants to learn something within the business space or in life in general, there's so much valuable content out there on LinkedIn, and trustworthy content as well. So it gives you an opportunity to create that content yourself. This is a positive one as well. Engagement's increasing on LinkedIn 50% year on year. So more and more people are gravitating towards LinkedIn, and more people are engaging with LinkedIn. And I've found that firsthand with my business. If it wasn't for LinkedIn, I wouldn't have a business, honestly. Everything that I've done so far in the past as well is all because of LinkedIn. So I'm a huge believer in generating success for yourself through LinkedIn. And this is a huge one. 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn drive business decisions. So if you're trying to impress a hiring manager, in general, if you're trying to build your personal brand to make sure that you connect with the right people, like I said, you might want to be hired for a particular job, or maybe you run your own business like myself, and you want to win clients, you want to impress people, you're in the right spot with LinkedIn, because 4 out of 5 people are the ones who make business decisions. So it's the right platform to be on. If you are going through the job search process, I'm telling you right now, employers look at LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile, before they look at your resume. I do it all the time. When I post job ads, as you would have seen for whatever roles I have, people will send me their resume, but I'll quickly copy paste their name. I'll put it on LinkedIn first, quick glance over their LinkedIn profile. If I don't like it, I don't even look at their resume. And everybody's doing it. So that's another big important on why LinkedIn. As I touched on it earlier, business relationships, deals are all made through LinkedIn. And again, this is where we start getting into the nitty-gritty of building your personal brand. But LinkedIn allows you to showcase your written, creative, oral, and presentation skills, which I'm going to call all that under one banner in communication skills. And the single most sought after skill by employers these days is communication skills. And LinkedIn allows you to showcase your communication skills. And I'll touch on that a little bit later on how you can do that. Well, some of the reasons you can, it allows you to write a blog, and it allows you constantly to create content via video, written, you can upload your presentations, share things. So it starts allowing you to showcase the transferable skills that athletes have, and it's for free. So huge way to build your personal brand. And most importantly, this is more so for the athletes that are listening to this, that maybe don't have a lot of corporate experience, or you don't have a lot of experience outside of sport, and you might be a little bit fearful in saying, "Oh, who's going to potentially look at me with no experience?" But LinkedIn allows you to build your own experience. As I said, you can start your own blog, start putting content out there, showing your creativity. That's experience. People will see that digital footprint that you left behind. So that's a huge reason why LinkedIn's a huge factor in building your personal brand. If anyone has any questions around why LinkedIn or any concerns around that, please put it in the chat box below. Okay, so let's get to your LinkedIn profile, which is, as I said, employers will look at your LinkedIn profile first before they look at your PDF resume. So your LinkedIn profile needs to stand out in the fact that you need to showcase that you're an athlete. and that's exciting. When so obviously my company, my job involves pitching to clients to hire athletes. My first line is, hey, just giving you a quick call to see if you'd be interested in looking at some of my athletes who are transitioning into a post-sport career to be employed by yourself, and something along those lines. But obviously, I make that a lot better. But when I mentioned the word athletes and I work with athletes, it's exciting. Like people get excited. They want to work with me. They want to interview some of my athletes, because when you say the word athlete, it's hard worker, it's discipline, it's like I said, work ethic, it's resilience, it's time management skills, it's all those high performance attributes that people think of when I mention the word athlete. So showcase that on your LinkedIn profile. That needs to stand out. So show that you're assertive, show that you're proactive, you're a go-getter. Showcase all your transferable skills. Again, make athlete jump out at people's in people's faces on your LinkedIn profile. You're a high performer. The word athlete and high performer go hand in hand, 100%. So make that stand out on your LinkedIn profile, and I'll go into a little more detail on how you can do that as well. Fantastic. I see some people are putting some great points on the chat box there. So thank you for that. Please keep putting together any questions or any points, comments that you might have. So in terms of your LinkedIn profile, so that I kind of gave you an overview, excitement of being an athlete, but I just want to get on the nitty gritty. So one of the first things as you're creating your LinkedIn profile, if you already have yours, is the headline. So the headline is the first thing, along with your profile picture and cover page. The headline is the first thing that people see when they look at your LinkedIn profile. So when I coach my athletes in terms of building their LinkedIn profile and creating content, one of the first things I mention is, what stage are you at in your career? So if you're currently an athlete, your headline shouldn't just say athlete. It should be athlete aspiring to be a sales professional, athlete to be aspiring to be the best in the medical industry. So whatever field that you want to get into, add that on your headline. So current athlete aspiring to be the best I can be in XYZ career. Add that on your headline, because it shows that you're thinking about a post-sport career already, and people will assume that you're already doing something about it or creating experience. So it entices people to contact you straight away. If you're an athlete transitioning, or if you've just recently retired, you can put something along the lines of former athlete looking to transfer my high-performing habits into industry XYZ, or into career, whatever career it is. So again, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm definitely looking to transfer my high-performing habits, but show it. Tell people, former athlete looking to transfer my high-performing habits into the sales profession, into being a social media manager, whatever it is that you want to do. If you're not sure, you can always generalize it. Former athlete looking to transfer my high-performing habits into the business world, into the corporate space, anything like that. That's attractive to a lot of people. If you're a current, if you're an ex-athlete with some business experience already, or in the corporate space, you can say something along the lines of athlete or former athlete, currently a business development manager at XYZ, or currently a social media manager at XYZ. So if you're a former athlete and you're currently working for somebody at the moment, you need to mention the fact that you're a former athlete. Not only will that build your personal brand or create more credibility, again, that high performance aspect for the clients that you're working with or the customers that you're working with currently, but you never know, in the future it might open up opportunities for you. Then it took me a very long time, when I retired from basketball and I started working in the corporate space, I had zero mention of my former life as an athlete for about 4 or 5 years, and it was a huge mistake. Once I started putting athlete or former athlete on my LinkedIn profile, really, like, things started opening up for me, not just in my current role, but I managed to get other opportunities going forward. Because again, I'm going to reiterate the fact, athlete means high performer. Okay, so if you put that on your LinkedIn profile, you're a high performer. I know a lot of athletes are humble about it, and don't want to kind of brag about it. Shit, brag about it. You're a high performer, you're an athlete. Put it all over social media, put it all over LinkedIn, because I'm telling you, people will connect with you and gravitate towards you for that reason. The other thing on the obviously, as you set up, if you haven't set up your LinkedIn profile, it's so user friendly, very, very easy to set up. There's pointers and directions, but so I'm touching on the things that obviously it's easier to set up, but just going to give you pointers on how to build your personal brand. And the other one is your contact info. And you'll notice as you're setting up your LinkedIn profile, there's a website section. Put something on the website section. If it's the LinkedIn blog that you're creating, which I'll show you in a second, add the link to your LinkedIn blog. If you're currently working for a company, put the website of the company on there, and I'll touch on that in a second. Whatever team you're currently playing for, whatever sports organization you're part of, put that website on the contact info. It just adds more credibility, authenticity about you as well. It gives you more a personable look on who you are. And again, people gravitate towards that. Here's one that might potentially be controversial, and you might want to check with your manager. But if you're an ex-athlete who's currently working, or an athlete who's working in the corporate space already, and your website, your company website, is on that website in the contact info, I think that's a little boring, to be honest. People can find your company website in anyway. I would like to go to another level. So you're working for a company, but how about you have your own landing page of who you are, about me. So it might, a little bit about you, what products or services you offer. Again, part of that company. It's a little bit more trusting than just, hey, opening up your company page, great, which I could have found on Google or website anyway, or online anyway. So talk to your manager and say, hey, look, I'm thinking about creating my own personal landing page where my customers and clients can connect with me, because people buy from people they like. People don't buy from companies, right? Employees are a huge factor in determining the success of our companies. So delve deeper into that. So that's just a quick tip for those that are already working in the corporate space. Create your own landing page, your own website as part of your company, and stick it on your LinkedIn profile. Now, the profile picture. This was an interesting one. I would try and go generic. One other way to look at it is the industry that you want to go into post-sport. Have a look at some of the people that are quite successful in that industry already on LinkedIn, and let's see what their LinkedIn profile looks like, their picture and their cover page as well. But most commonly, wear a suit and have some sort of representation of your skill set. Maybe giving a public speaking talk, maybe giving a presentation somewhere so people can see. I'll give you a quick example of what mine looks like. I'll just share my screen real quickly, see if I remember how to do that. Perfect. Okay, so I'll just have a look at what mine looks like. So as you can see, that's my LinkedIn profile. And you can see in the background, in the cover page, I've got me giving a presentation. So as soon as people look at my LinkedIn profile, they can say, right, okay, this person must have good communication skills or is confident. So something where you've presented or given a public talk, it adds wonders to your LinkedIn profile. And then my profile picture is my business attire, but I would suggest wear a suit, something business-like and professional on your LinkedIn profile to stand out. So I'll just stop sharing, come back. 1 second. So that around if you have any questions around profile picture or want more information on the cover page or tips, please put it in the chat box below. But that's my top tips for that one. And then the biggest portion of your LinkedIn profile will be the About Me section. So that's your opportunity to be authentic, to get personal, showcase your skills and accomplishments so far, and then how they're transferable into the business world. That's where people will get to know you, gravitate towards you. Again, my biggest piece of advice for this is to be as authentic as possible and showcase some of your accomplishments. But if you're a current athlete and looking to transfer later on, showcase how those skill sets are relatable to the business world. There's a lot of people's profiles that I see on LinkedIn that just leave the About Me section blank. I would 100% put something in there. So some of the, if you're not quite 100% sure of what to put in there, or want a little bit more tips on that. Here's a professional tip. Again, my job is as a recruitment consultant all day, every day to try and find athletes who I can place within the companies, within the clients that I work with. So a lot of recruiters and hiring managers use keyword searches to find the right LinkedIn profile or the right person for their role. So a pro tip for you, so search the job descriptions of the roles that you want to apply for. If not now, then in the future. And then look at some of the keywords on those job descriptions and then spray them all over your LinkedIn profile and especially your About Me section. So a big tip for myself, about 3.5 years ago, I was working in the media space, but I saw a big emergence in obviously software and technology. So I wanted to work in the software space. So I try to extract everything I can from my media sales experience into the software space through keywords. So things like software, SaaS platforms, technology, etc., technology sales professional. I put that all over my LinkedIn profile, and I had a number of recruiters, hiring managers find me because of that. So keyword searches is a huge one in today's day and age on LinkedIn. One of the things that I do, and again, the importance of you putting athlete or certain keywords on your LinkedIn profile. If I have a client who's looking for a candidate with, say, 4+ years experience in business development or sales, obviously my business is all about placing athletes in corporate roles, past that, former athletes and current athletes. So what I do on LinkedIn, I'll put the first word in the search box when I'm trying to find people. I put athlete, and then I put business development manager or sales professional. So again, if you're an athlete if you're a former athlete wanting to grow your business career and you don't have anywhere on your LinkedIn profile athlete, I won't find you. People won't find you if that's what they're looking for. And I'm out there in the market trying to sell the athlete realm as much as possible for hiring managers. Employers should be employing athletes. The other part on your LinkedIn profile is the experiences section. Before I go into the experiences section, I'll just have a look at the chat. Perfect. Thank you, Gerard. Appreciate it for saying those are some great tips. And thanks for tuning in. So again, if anyone has any questions about this or anything they'd like to add, please put it in the chat box. The experiences section, regardless if you're working at the moment or if you're an athlete, really if you're an athlete transitioning, don't just list your sporting achievements. You can list your sporting achievements, but then tell us how that translates into the corporate space or into the role that you're trying to apply for. Just quickly, apologize if you hear any babies crying in the background. It's my newborn over there. She's feeding. She'll be right if it comes on. So she likes to chime in here and there about LinkedIn, don't you? So yeah, with your experiences, list your sporting achievements, but then list how they're relevant to the current role that you're applying for, whatever post-sport career you want to go for. So for example, this is just an example. Let's say you're an NRL player and you've played for the Roosters for 4 years. So, Roosters player, won 2 championships, was player of the year in 2010. So you can put that, won 2 championships, player of the year in 2010, which has taught me leadership, resilience, time management skills, and the discipline to be successful, which I'm now transferring those same high-performing habits into career XYZ. So again, always make it relatable and relevant for the career that you want to go into. So stop just listing your sporting achievements. People care, but they don't care as much as how are you going to bring that in to their company or to the business world. So that's a big tip on that one. Now, content creation is a huge one. So once you've had your LinkedIn profile set up, please don't just stop there. Continue to use LinkedIn and put some strong content out there. And one of the biggest things that you can do is publish a LinkedIn article. So I'll just quickly show people, just in case they don't know, because this is something new that LinkedIn's put forward. So I'll just share my screen again. So if you go to LinkedIn and if you go to the home page, it's just here, write an article on LinkedIn. And it opens up, and then basically you can start creating your own blog. It's so easy to follow. You put your cover page there, headline, and then whatever content that you want to put on there. It's fantastic. It's the biggest way that you can build your personal brand. I'll just stop sharing for a second, and I'll lay it back to this one. So yeah, creating content through your LinkedIn blog is the best thing you do for building your personal brand. So if you're not 100% sure what type of content that you wanted to create, what you want to write about, I've just put some ideas here. So your other passion, I've recently worked with an athlete who wants to be an engineer, but more specifically work in the renewable energy sector. And he's now creating a blog about renewable energy and his passion. He's putting a blog up maybe once every 2 weeks or so. So that's something you can do. So whatever your other passion is, start writing about it. Start putting content out there on LinkedIn about it. One of the biggest things that people love about athletes and gravitate towards is, as I mentioned before, you guys are high performers. High performers. You're an elite athlete. How did you get there? It's so interesting. How did you become the best or part of the best in your sport or in your industry? What are the daily habits and routines that got you there? Or if you're still an athlete, what are your daily habits and routines right now? So that's something you can write about, your high performance habits and your productivity. Just document your daily activities. I'll be interested. I want to know what you guys are doing to stay at the elite level that you are. Again, daily activities, the journey, your life as an athlete. It's just my story. That's a blog that you can start posting on LinkedIn. And I'm telling you, so many people would love to read that, would absolutely love it. You've got nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain in doing that. I know that some of the athletes listening to this are Olympians. So I believe Tokyo will be in 2021 now. So you can start a blog right now on your journey leading up to Tokyo. What are you doing? What are your habits? How excited are you? Not just that, you'll start developing a bigger following, and then people will watch the Olympics, but they'll start watching you more specifically because now they feel close to you and they're personal. They've been reading your blog, so they'll start cheering for you more and more. Once you retire, a number of employers would absolutely love to have you on their team. So leading up to Tokyo is a great blog that you can start right now if you're an Olympic athlete. Other one, fitness, health, and diet. That's huge. As an athlete, obviously, I don't need to go into the details. You know your fitness, you know how to be healthy, and you know what to eat and what not to eat. Start a blog about it. People would love that, especially now in lockdown. I know I myself, I'm a big fail in this, but I've been eating chocolate and shit the whole time. So a lot of people are probably out of shape now and not as healthy as they were before. So any kind of blogs on how to get healthy and fit again would be fantastic. And who better to talk about that than an elite athlete? And the other one is that athletes possess is your resilience and your elite mentality. I've been inspired by the most recent Michael Jordan documentary, and everyone's been talking about it on LinkedIn. I've seen about his elite mentality and his just non-stop competitive nature. So what makes how do you become mentally strong? Why are you to be an elite athlete, no doubt about it, you have to be mentally strong. So how do you do that? What are some habits, or what are you doing to maintain a mentally strong mind frame? That's a great blog that you guys can write as well. So I hope some of those ideas for some blog content there for you guys helps, but 100% start publishing articles on LinkedIn and then start sharing content. You can upload videos, etc. Again, it's all towards building your personal brand. And just quickly on how to network on LinkedIn. So once you've started building your personal brand, publishing an article on LinkedIn, doing a blog, posting content, now you can start connecting with people directly. So connect with the hiring managers or professionals within the industry that you want to be part of. Once they've accepted your connection, send them a direct message. Hey, I'm so an elite athlete. I'm looking to transition my high performing habits into this industry. Was wondering if you can give me any pointers in what I can do now to ensure I'm successful in this industry as well. Or if you're looking to work for that particular company right now, say that. I'm looking to work for a company like yours, would be interested in interviewing if you're hiring. Send a bunch of those messages out, but that's how you start building your network. The underlying factor, again, is that you're an athlete. I'm telling you, people will listen to you. People will reply to you, and people will connect with you. So start connecting. I would write down a list of all the people that you send your message to. If they don't reply, give it about a week, follow them up with a phone call. Just connecting, just following up from my LinkedIn message the other day. I was wondering if I could chat to you about XYZ, or about how I can potentially transfer my elite habits from sports into your company. It's not intruding, and people will actually like that. Again, it shows your proactiveness, it shows your transferable skills from sport. So start networking, start connecting on LinkedIn directly. It's the same thing like going to a networking event. It's just doing it digitally. If anyone has any questions about networking, or want more ideas on how to perfect that message to send out, please put it in the chat box, and I can email you some templates and kind of give you pointers on what to look at. Perfect. So I hope you liked that presentation and got some idea on the importance of strengthening your personal brand right now to ensure a successful post-sport career. As I mentioned before, I do work with athletes one-on-one as a tailored approach on how to create your LinkedIn profile, how to network on LinkedIn and connect with the right employers, right hiring managers. I teach people through the job search process, and I do have a guarantee if you are looking for a job right now to find one within 45 days. Again, if you do want some one-on-one coaching from myself, please feel free to get in touch, ask some questions, and I can kind of give you a little bit more detail on how the coaching works, but it's all tailored towards what you want to achieve in your own personal brand. Just quickly, my contacts are there. So my mobile number 0421 579 636. If you want to call me, have a chat. Or email me directly, and I can give you a little bit more details of how the coaching works. Alex@athlete2business.com.au. Perfect. Hope you enjoyed that webinar. Please, if you have any questions, put in the chat box again. Call me, email me, but get working on your personal brand and start strengthening your personal brand now. It'll do wonders for you post-sport and creating more job opportunities for you. Take care, guys. See you later.